wanna make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need money with a face like that, do ya? Big black boots, long brown hair. She's so sweet with her, yeah, back stare. Well, I could see you were with me, but you were with another man, yeah. I know we ain't got much to say before I let you get away, yeah. I said, are you gonna be my girl?
Hi guys.
You're not.
Leslie, can we make sure everybody's muted?
I can't tell who's not, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to have my camera on, so that you guys can see my face. But if you can't hear me, then I'm gonna have to turn it off, because that's just how the internet's being today. And I just spilled my whole Dr. Pepper on the floor, so bear with me. But welcome to team meeting. I hope everybody is safe and warm, and Sarah is out venturing in the ice, so she's brave apparently. But today we have a few people on today. Let's start with some gratitude. Let's unmute and start with some gratitude. We always start a meeting that way. So what are y'all grateful for? Bucket fills.
I'm
grateful for today. Yeah.
I'm gonna give Philip a shout out. Him and I are reading Talent War together, and even during the snow, still getting up at 7:50 in the morning to do that. So Philip, thank you for holding me accountable to that.
Awesome. Talent War, tell us what that is, because Justin may want to read that. Team leaders may want to read that.
It's a special ops hiring process. So a bunch of guys and the SEALs came up with a hiring process, and that's what the book is about. So it's called Finding Talent, Recruiting Talent, Attracting Talent, and Retaining Talent. And it's pretty awesome. So a buddy of mine that was in military sent it to me. And ever since, Philip and I decided to dive into it. It's been a really good book, though.
Tackle it. Awesome. Any more bucket fills? Anybody else have anything they're grateful for? I will say, I know the snow has been awful, but I told the team yesterday I was grateful for it this weekend because we got to spend some time with people who normally are would love to see more often. But man, she has 4 kids. We have 3 kids. They are in every sport, that known to mankind. So we never, and I'm grateful for all of you guys for showing up. So I just want to give you guys a bucket fill for showing up and honestly just being here. I know it's a snow day and you could be anywhere, or you could be not working and not plugged in. So you guys can throw in the chat who you're grateful for. And
I'm grateful for
Leslie, do you want to go to the next slide?
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I don't know who said
Sarah,
that because I can't see.
With my listening presentation last week.
Thanks, Shauna.
Shauna.
Hey, we're gonna Shauna, I'm really proud of you for implementing and getting Shauna like immediately after we met went straight to social media and just like really got in with her network and looking at it from a global perspective and not just a Memphis perspective. Shauna, I'm really proud of you. I think it was awesome, and I know Linda, you're going to roll that out here soon with the listing presentation.
Yes.
Cheers to more listing presentation, Shauna. I love it.
Cheers.
I have built out some Canva templates where you guys can just take you have to sign into yours and you can add your pictures, take stuff away. Really just trying to simplify it for you so you're not having to go through a million templates and figure out what you want to do. Just to kind of take that off your plate so that you can just take it and run with it. Unless you want to change it, it's ready to go. So I have that built out for you guys. I'm trying to make everything as easy as possible where you can just kind of take things, implement, and you don't have to think too much unless you want to change the colors or whatever. So I appreciate Shauna for reaching out because I know she's been with us a long time. And I met her for the first time recently. So I'm so proud of her for plugging back in and being on this call. So if you see somebody or know somebody who you think needs to be on these calls and start, plugging back into what we're doing, we're trying to build out some new stuff and bring some energy. And I think we have a lot of great momentum. So we would love to see some old faces mixed in with the new faces. Okay. Leslie, next. Y'all, if you see these people, please, please, please welcome them. Make them feel at home. Make sure they don't need anything. I'm sure you remember when you first started how overwhelming the emails are and all of the tools and all the technology. So please make sure that if you see these people, say hi to them. I don't know if any of them are on the call, but if so, say hi. Make them feel welcome. I know a lot of them are plugging in right now to Win the Morning every morning, which is huge. And then I know a few of them got to go to Dawn's event last week. And we are so proud of them. So if you see them, say hi and keep going, Leslie. Oh, wrong way. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So it is the last week of the month. So we have a little cadence that we're doing. But on the last week of the month, we will still do kind of our market center numbers and what we have going on compared to the MLS and to Mississippi. So closed units, is this year to date or this is December for the whole year of last year?
This is for the whole year of 2025.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, funny. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we are at 0.00 because we closed the exact same number of units. And Leslie added it multiple times. So I don't know how that happened, but it did, which is great because everyone else went backwards a little bit. So you can see MAR went down by 4.4%. And then the Mississippi MLS went down a little bit as well. Closed volume, we were up 3.6%, where MAR and Mississippi were down almost 3%, and then 0.1%. So Mississippi is still pretty, flatline, but at least it didn't go down. Listings taken for the year, we were up 11.5%, and MAR was up 1.2%. And the Mississippi was down 0.1%. So you guys can read this. What we're really seeing is that we're outpacing the market in pretty much all categories. So that's really just attributed to you guys showing up to these calls, showing up to trainings, and really just taking what we're teaching you and implementing it. So hopefully what we're doing is helping you guys. The numbers show that it is. But obviously, if there's
based off of per office,
you're like, hey, I think this is a gap or say one more time.
Based off of per office in terms of market share, per office, the Ridge Lake office I know is outperforming all offices individually. So just something for y'all to know. It's pretty awesome. Congratulations, everybody.
Yes, you're killing it.
Another thing that I just want to hit on this. Oh,
go. Sorry.
Another thing I want to hit on this is that when we were looking at these about halfway through the year, we were pretty significantly down in listings sold compared to our listings taken. And I know that we did a lot of trainings, a lot of the audit your listings classes, and I do want to congratulate everyone because getting that listing sold percentage up, I know y'all put a lot of work in for that. So congratulations everyone, because I know that we really struggled with that this year with having pricing conversations with our sellers. So kudos to you guys. And also just so that we can make sure that we're keeping that up because we are still doing great with listings taken. Keep an eye out for the next audit your listing class.
Yes. Justin, did you have a question?
Yeah, Sarah had said something that was for the Ridge Lake office, leading all offices, is that in Keller Williams offices, or that's all offices across the Memphis, the MAR?
The whole MAR. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great.
But we're not marketing it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was struggling with that. I feel like we need to do a better job of marketing families served, right? And so being able to say, like, as a total, we've served this many families in the Mississippi, Shelby County, Tennessee areas. So I really kind of, honestly, Justin, I thought about, pushing that out, but then I didn't want to look like we were downplaying anybody else. I just want to be able to say, hey, we have a huge market share in these two given territories. And so we're going to start marketing that, just so y'all know, Justin, to that point. Mississippi, we can pull those numbers for y'all as well, but y'all are trending in positive in terms of everybody else is going back in market share, and Mississippi is growing in market share. So y'all's individual offices in Mississippi is gaining ground when everybody else is going backwards, which is awesome.
Even if you just maintain and everybody else goes backwards, you still gain ground that way.
Yeah, and I do think a lot of the things that y'all put into place with Deals and Donuts is helping, and y'all building that community there around that has been awesome. So kudos to y'all. Justin, I know I sent you and Lauren a text, but grateful for that. And then Don for doing his lunch and learns, and everybody that's participating in that. So yeah, we're gaining ground. While it doesn't feel like massive gains, it's still one step at a time, which once you get to 15 to 20% market share, it's really hard to take it back. Awesome work. Everybody did a great job, and we'll have marketing out on this. We were just waiting on final numbers.
Yeah, it's something that somebody said yesterday, and it was on our growth call, but Keller Williams has so much value, not just the agents, but for y'all's resources and, everything that we get the privilege of having. We're kind of spoiled and we forget about it, especially with the Go Network as well. But anyways, we have to show people who we are. So these numbers really show it. So, you can take this and implement it into some of your marketing, right? So it doesn't have to be the exact numbers, but you can say, my office is outpacing in all of these categories, right? So if you want to work with the best, that's us. So, or whoever, that's me, that's Justin, that's Shauna, whatever. So take these numbers and use it in your businesses, because you can use the office's numbers, to help with your attraction. So,
hey, I got a question about that real quick. If you're going to use the office's numbers, if I'm working with a buyer, what is the pitch?
Hold on, let me move this so I can.
Anybody? If I've got this amount of market share, this amount of inventory, and we're outpacing the inventory, what was it, 11% listings taken? If I have a buyer that I'm trying to get to sign an agreement, what is the pitch? I have more than anybody else?
Anybody else?
Market listings.
I say we have private collection, right? So
off market listings, but we also have more taken than the association on average. So this is the reason why you want to work with us, because we have access to more inventory. What about if I'm working with a seller?
Listings sold.
Yeah, we have more agents selling more of our listings, and we're outpacing the association.
Yeah.
I've got to take this to the consumer.
Yeah. So you can use these numbers in your listing presentation, right? You can add them and say, like, hey, my office sells more listings than the average agent, right? So yes, I'm really proud of you guys. But anything else you want to add to that, Leslie or Sarah? Or any questions? Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Eric, are you on the call? I think I saw your name earlier.
I'm here.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
I am great. Yeah, work from home is fun. Yeah, this is
I
great.
love your office vibe in the background. Can I just say?
Oh yeah, it's a shrine to Alabama. Yeah, but yeah.
Matt
Roll
will be.
Tide, roll tide. Amen. Amen. So
Okay, so sorry, Eric is hopping on. So Eric is an attorney with Poplar Title. He's going to come on maybe once a month at least, maybe every other month, whatever we feel is, necessary. Really, we want to hop on and talk about some things that Like, what are some pitfalls that we're having? Why are things falling apart?
Linda, you might want to turn your
Can you hear me
video
still?
off. You're dragging a
You
lot.
look like you're trying to hear me. He can't hear me.
No, I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, can you hear me now? Better? No?
stellar.
Cover.
Yeah, great.
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna let you take it away then. What are some things you're seeing on contracts?
Okay. So I don't know how much of this we can actually control, but one thing that we have noticed a lot of is we're getting a higher rate of contracts that are canceling right around the inspection periods. We have more canceled contracts right now than we've probably had in the last 18 months. And that could be for, any number of reasons. I mean, every deal is different, but that's just one trend that we are seeing. Um, Another, like, also, we're still seeing a high number of seller credits in these contracts that are coming in. So sellers are obviously paying, you know, X amount of dollars toward buyers' closing costs, their prepaids, their lender fees, and that is just evidencing the shift back that we've experienced over the last, well, 2.5, 3 years now, where buyers are kind of having a little more of the upper hand when it comes to bargaining power in these transactions. Um, we expect that to kind of even out slowly, maybe over the next year, but um, you just never know. One of the pitfalls, I guess could be addressed is that if we are, and we've seen this a couple of times where we'll have seller on the contract in the special stipulations, the agent writes seller to pay $8,000 toward, in closing costs. Then we get to the, inspection period, and then they write a new amendment for the repair and replace that it says that seller to pay $4,000 in buyer closing costs in lieu of repairs. So initially, you would read that as now we have $12,000 in closing costs, but sometimes that could be basically lining out the previous closing costs. So I would always just recommend, and this is so small, just put it in parentheses for a total of $12,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so just
That way it's
clarifying that.
clear. Yeah.
And honestly, I know it seems counterintuitive. I think whenever you're drafting like an amendment or like a special stipulation, that there's some kind of magic, you know, combination of words that will get you exactly what you need. And there's not. Um, I try to tell agents say what they mean in these things. If you have to spell it out, spell it out. I'd rather have you, go into detail on those, and I'll read the extra two lines than have it be ambiguous and then us having to kind of make arguments to, the opposing title company or title attorney, whoever that is. But just making sure that you've got just saying what you mean and saying it clearly. Um, but yeah, that's
Okay.
one pit. Yeah.
Is there anything that anybody has questions about, reasons your things have fallen apart that you think like, oh, if I'd had something to cover my client on this, maybe we could have protected them, or this is open for discussion. So Eric is here to kind of guide us on this.
I don't know if everybody's not doing consultations and going over just a summary of what an inspection report is going to look like in a first initial meeting. You've got to set the right expectations, or there's going to be missed ones on the back end. So every inspection report is a generalist, and they're going to have 40 something pages. So you might as well just say, hey, out of the gate, this is what you're looking at, Mr. or Miss Buyer. In Tennessee, there's cosmetic already pre-written in that, quote unquote, you can't technically ask for that during the inspection period. Eric, I don't know if you've seen that happen, but if it is a cosmetic repair, it needs to be done on the front end. So don't come at them with, hey, I want you to replace the carpet because it's ugly. So understanding that, I think I'm not sure if we're taking enough time to set the expectations up front.
Yeah. Something, Sarah, that just crossed my mind as Eric was talking and him talking about um, things falling apart at the inspection. You're right, setting expectations, but then maybe I might be able to get my coach or even Philip's coach, Jody, who used to coach me when I was an agent, um, to do some, maybe hop on one of these calls to talk through like some scripts, some ways to get people past those things, some ways to set expectations before the inspection. Because when you set it up correctly, people aren't surprised by it when they know, okay, I tell everybody like this guy, his whole purpose is to point out every single thing he can possibly find so that you know what you're walking into, right? So the conversations to have. So maybe we can get a maps coach to hop on here, and get some of that verbiage and some things that you should be aware of to talk to your client about beforehand. If you guys think that will be helpful. Um,
I'm going to
so
one other thing that Eric said. We
yeah,
do not need to create the magic words because we didn't go to law school. So if you have something that you're trying to convey across, call an attorney and get that verbiage and then store that verbiage somewhere so that you can revert back to it. So make sure what y'all are putting in special stipulations is written by an attorney so that you have that term in there buttoned up for your client.
yeah, I will call Eric sometime and say like, hey, this is what I'm trying to say. I don't think I'm getting it across. Like, how do I say this? And he'll just type it out for me to copy and paste into special steps.
Yep.
Philip wants to say something.
Yeah, Philip, what's up?
I had the same exact thought that Sarah said, which is that if all these contracts are canceling at the inspection period, that points to us as agents probably either skipping the consultation or not doing a great job. And then you mentioned Jody, and she has already given me kind of a talk track of how to set those expectations so I don't have that fallout. And it's really just as simple as this, guys. You want to point out exactly what like Linda said, that the inspector is going to find stuff, right? And basically, what we are looking for and what we're going to ask for are things that are either going to be dangerous for you to move in the house or they're going to be too expensive for you to take on. Some of every house, because it's man-made, is going to have smaller things. We're not going to try to burden down the seller with those types of things, and just keeping that win-win or no deal mindset, and just keeping them in mind that there's another person on the side of the other of this transaction. They feel, a lot of buyers right now feel like they have so many choices that they're just gonna pick the perfect home. And the truth is, from for most of them, there that does not exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think getting Jody on would be great. I think from the seller side, I think it's our job to set the expectation on the seller side too. If they want to test the market and overprice it, then that means they're going to get whittled down throughout the entire negotiation process, not just from the immediate contract, but during inspection periods and everything else. So the seller needs to understand that too. That's all going to affect their net and the entire negotiation process. So we've got to say, hey, it's not just about price. It's about what they're going to come at us for inspections and repairs as well, because they're going to keep whittling us down because we didn't price it correctly to begin with. Just all expectations.
Hey, Linda, it's
yeah,
Julianne. Hey, one other thing in light of canceled contracts that we need to pay attention to, I was reminded of recently on the listing side, is to also make sure we are getting a reasonable amount of earnest money in relation to the listing, so that if and when this does happen, if it is in a period that is no longer protected, that earnest money is meaningful, especially when we're looking at sellers completing repairs and then they've invested their resources into doing that, and then a buyer walks away. Are they protected by the earnest money that's being offered? So I think that's a part of the contract that we it's easy to just skip past and not really put weight to, that I think needs to be just a reminder that that's an important part of the contract, and make sure we're protecting our sellers in that regard.
Yeah,
Amen.
That's a good one.
100%. Because yeah, you're right. People are just backing out, and honestly, us as listing agents, and I know I've been guilty of this. Is like we got an offer, let's just take it. Don't even counter them. Like we're good. But if that earnest money is $500 on a $500,000 house, that's not going to make a dent in that seller taking their house off the market. So if the person can afford a $500,000 house, although buyers feel like they have the leverage right now, and even when we are the buyer's agent, we're like, oh, we have leverage, we can do whatever. That's true. But like Philip said, there's another person on the other end of that transaction who's trying to get where they're going to. So in our culture to, as like Keller Williams says, win-win or no deal, let's make sure it's fair for everybody and know that there is another person trying to move on to the next thing too, and kind of be considerate of that. Yeah, Sarah.
Eric, are you seen anybody do hard earnest money? So if it's like a 60-day, is anybody doing like half of it's hard earnest money non-refundable?
Only occasionally we'll see it if, they've extended the inspection period out and they keep extending for inspection, if that gets extended, then I've seen, okay, well, fine, but earnest money increases from 3,000 to 5,000 and the additional two becomes non-refundable. But usually you don't see that up front on the contracts very often. It's typically after something's happened and they
Yeah.
start to get a vibe. They start to suss a vibe from the buyer or whatever it may be, the buyer's agent. If you feel like you're getting kind of strung around here, make them put hard money up. So,
Hard money, for everybody that doesn't know, is non-refundable. That's a
Yeah,
good piece.
with an attorney for the verbiage.
yeah, sure, call me. But
Anybody else have any comments or questions for Eric? Anything you're seeing in the market where you're like, hey, what would an attorney think about this? Or how can I protect my client from that?
Hey, Linda,
Yeah. Hey, Yvonne.
this is Yvonne. With regard to the expired or canceled contracts, my belief is that if you are having the proper consultation with your buyer up front, part of those questions would actually include how much renovation are you prepared to pay for? Do you want to pay for renovations? Do you have the funds to pay for renovations? And of course, I'm paraphrasing these statements, but in doing so, that will allow you to be able to tell how much, when you're looking at a property and you're looking at the amount of repairs that this property is going to need, you will automatically know not to show that particular property to that client. Or when you are reaching out to a listing agent, you can ask those questions. Is there anything about the property that's going on with it that you have not listed in the remarks on the MLS? And I find that when I ask those types of questions up front, I rule out the number of cancellations on a contract because I'm showing the client exactly what they want. And then the same thing on the seller side, when you're getting those listings, talk about the repairs and disclose that to a buyer's agent if it's asked.
Yeah, 100%. I think that will help, being as upfront as possible, making sure, obviously, as long as you're still looking out for your client's best interest, is always communication is key with the other agent, and y'all are on the same side. So I know we've talked about this a lot, but you're cooperating agents. So cooperate with each other, try to get through the deal. And I think a lot of deals can be solved with just like knowing that we're all on the same side and how can we work together. Because I know I've saved, not me, but I've had agents save a deal by being super nice to me, even when they're bringing me really bad news. So when they're like, hey, Linda, big sorry, but that person's actually not pre-approved and I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. So like, I'm like, all right, well, what's the issue? Okay, maybe this person can help. So then even though I'm not working with the buyer, I'm helping them figure out how can we keep this deal together and keep it on the path, same path. So make sure when you're on the other side of a deal, how can you help that agent, especially if they're a newer agent or they haven't done a lot of deals or don't have a lot of connections. A lot of this industry is educating each other. So how can you be a good co-agent and just say like, hey, look, if it was me, this is what I would do. And I think we can get to the closing table for your buyer, right? Even if you're the listing agent. So just be kind to each other, help each other. Let's get these deals to the closing table. And always lean on an attorney for if you have, issues that need to be worked out legally. Make sure that the verbiage is tight and that it's not going to mess up your client, or there's no room for having to figure out what you're trying to say. So thank you so much, Eric, for being on here.
Yeah. Did you want me to hit this fence in thing real quick?
Yeah, you got 2 seconds? Yeah, I don't know how long it'll take,
Yeah.
but
All
go
right,
for it.
so it's gonna be quick. Starting March 1st of this year, title agents now have to report to FinCEN, which is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. It's a sub-department of the Treasury. Basically, anytime a buyer is buying a property and they're paying cash, or they're an LLC, or they're not using an institutional lender, so a hard money lender would count as quasi cash. Um, we as title agents now have a fun little added step of reporting to the federal government about this. It's an anti-money laundering scheme. So if you have clients who are maybe investor clients who buy, properties and rent them out, and they're doing it in the name of an LLC, or you have a buyer who's paying cash and they're a trust or a corporation of any kind, they're going to have to provide us more information and documentation than they have in the past. Um, we will still have those conversations with them, but if you have a client who's out of state and is not really responsive, y'all might want to put a bug in their ear that we're going to start treating these like title requirements, prerequisites for closing this kind of information, because we are on the hook for reporting them. So that's coming March 1st, and every title agent is excited.
Hey, Eric. Hey, Eric, when I heard you say that there are going to be some documents that are going to be required additionally, can you talk a little bit about what those documents are so that we as agents can prepare our
Sure.
client?
Yeah. So if you're an LLC, of course, we'll need your operating agreement. We'll need your member entity, like all the members in the entity. We'll need their personal contact information, phone number, addresses. We'll probably need their social security numbers. We're still waiting on the final form to be released from FinCEN. And if you have a trust, we'll need full trust documents, the EIN, obviously. Um, all of that information we'll have to gather from them. A lot of this information we wouldn't have to gather on the buy side. A lot of it for like trust, we would be gathering it for sure on a sell side because we'd be reporting proceeds. But now we're doing it on buy sides as well. And we're actually filing these reports with the federal government now. So I
Okay,
hope they nab some criminals.
are the bylaws included?
They should be, yes. We'll ask for all their organizational docs. So articles of incorporation, bylaws, any resolutions or amendments to that, their, operating agreement. We'll kitchen sink them is what we're gonna do. So
I have a question, and we can wrap up with that. But that's a lot more work on you. Is that gonna change your fees on those transactions?
That's a great question. We don't know that. We don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, right now looking at what they're saying, it should be about a 6-page form that we have to fill out every time for every transaction with one of these entities. So if you have an LLC and the members of the LLC are another LLC, um, and you play this little Russian, nesting doll of LLC formation, yeah, I could see us charging an additional fee for that. But we haven't set that. We haven't said
We'll
that.
just
We
see
don't
how
know.
it goes. Yeah.
And I know you said I'll be popping in here, weekly. I'm also going to make Will Holtman, my partner, pop in here too, so y'all don't get tired of my voice. But um, he's also one we need to talk about how we're going to do these fees, but we're going to really kind of see how things go after March. So we'll figure that out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you. Hey, I'm going to let Ethan talk next, if that's okay, Leslie, and then we'll get to Danaeus with the MLS. That way people have questions. That one might last till the end of the meeting, if that's all right.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, Ethan, welcome to the call. So you guys, I might let Sarah take the introduction because you know a little bit more if she's here.
I'm here.
If not, let Ethan introduce himself. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Sarah, go for it.
So I met Ethan so I guess a while back, but long story short, Ethan has a product where he's an insurance provider and has over 80 carriers essentially that can quote your premiums. And y'all have heard me say this a lot during the home buying process. It is important that our clients look at their policies and their premiums. And Ethan, I'm going to let you go over the stats of how quickly those premiums have increased over the past several years. The rates on these have dramatically increased, which means people are paying more for the same amount of coverage. So if we're going to look at financial wealth building as real estate being an asset, then insurance comes into play. So we've got to help them protect their asset. And how do we help them make sure that they're reviewing their policy and looking at their rates? Because I don't know about any of y'all on the call. Most of us don't pay attention to it. And all of a sudden, we're paying a lot more for insurance with the same coverage. So with that, Ethan, I'm going to let you go over those stats that you and I talked about because I think that might help everybody kind of put some numbers to what's truly happening.
Yeah, that sounds great. And also, could I share my screen? Is that okay?
Yep.
Perfect. So Sarah, thank you first off for letting me come here. And Sarah's exactly right. There's a huge problem in the industry right now because insurance has gone up so much. And so a lot of people are like, okay, I don't care if it goes up 5 or 10%, that's just inflation. But realistically, for Tennessee, it's gone up. Last year it was only about 9%, but over the last 5 years, it's gone over 70%. So basically, if you had a policy 5 years ago in 2021, you were probably around $1,300. Right now, the average policy is between $2,600 and $3,100, so double and then some. Also, if some of your clients have challenging credit, it's even worse. So I've seen policies in Tennessee and Mississippi for over $6,000 for a normal single family residential, which will crush most people. So the Go network, and this kind of ties into what we were talking about before, because you guys are of such a scope and are so big, you guys get this offer. So this is exclusive to the Go network team. So no one else in Memphis will, or no one else in Nashville will have this. Basically, what we've got is we've aggregated 80 different carriers. So there's kind of 3 value adds that you can point to. First, there is a revenue share, which I think for everybody feels like is getting asked to pay this fee and that fee. We're trying to give agents back. So for every closed deal on a property, we will be able to pay a $50 data collection fee. That is for all properties that you do. Second, you're going to help out your clients. So we talked a little bit about how it's a better product. So most of the people you talk to, and I've said this, but it bears like kind of beating home. Most people you deal with will have like 1 or 2 carriers. So if they're with State Farm or Allstate, they only have 1. So that means they can only have 1 rate that they can give you on that house, basically 1 carrier. Because you have to put a certain set of volume through these different carriers. Some of your local agents who are independent may have 5 or 10, but we've got 80. So what that means is instead of your client having to go out and shop on the internet or, getting their information scattered all over the place, you stay as kind of that source of truth, that source of information, and you become the go-to person. The last thing where we try to help them out is just we've made it super duper easy. So if you look here, this QR code, I didn't show this last time I talked to y'all. So this will take you straight to the site. Also, if you want to have the client directly call, you can do this. But I would say it's probably better if you maintain the control. When you type in straight line clients on that page, it will take you to this page. All you do is you put in a zip code and then you fill out 1 page. It's like a couple of fields. So there's the names, the addresses, and the client contact information. So not a ton of information needed. Last thing, and then I'll let you guys go. The 3 cases where I think this can really be used. First, I think it's really good for anything that's going under a contract. So anytime something's about to go pending, get this, get the insurance team working on it and make sure that you don't have a debt to income issue at the end of the transaction. So get ahead of it. Second thing, this is a perfect opportunity to reinvigorate your database with people you've done business with the home anniversary. So all of you know for every property you've closed what that closing date was. You should start talking to them 20 or 30 days before and just be that trusted real estate expert saying, I've got a solution. Let me get my guys calling for you. They've got 80 carriers, but they answer to me. So you're the hero. The last one that I would say is probably relevant. So we've got deals that are pending, people that you've done business with, and then I'd say the last one's probably people you haven't done business with or failed to connect last time. So this one, anybody in your database. As we said with those stats, basically the insurance, if they haven't checked for a few years, it's probably double what they're used to paying, and we're going to be able to drag that down. Now, we're not going to be able to save like a crazy amount, but we'll get you the best price and the best policies. So basically, we're going to shop all 80 of those and come up with an optimized solution. So that's a ton of information. I've said it a bunch of times. So I can repeat it as much as you guys need to. What else? Any questions? Anything else I can highlight here for the team?
Thank you, Ethan. No, that was great. I think what you hit on is exactly what we need, honestly, is, hey, we always talk about calling people with value and not just calling them to ask them if they want to buy or sell real estate, right? This is something that everybody needs. Honestly, I'm like thinking, should I go quote my insurance? Probably.
I mean, just to see, it definitely doesn't hurt. Yeah, and you're totally right that everybody in your database should have a problem with insurance, unless even if they're insurance agents, they still have problems. So yeah, this is every single person that you've contacted, and it's not the same message that you've brought them. This is a value add. So excellent point, Linda.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, this is a benefit that, like you said, nobody else has. Nobody has 80 carriers. And it's just a value that we get from the Go network. So use it, give it to all your friends, family, clients, and if they use it, you get $50 back. So just as a thank you, and really just for using it and kind of adoption. So I know that we want to get as many people using it as possible, and let's give this value to our clients. So I just want Ethan to get on here for anybody who didn't see him on Win the Morning. If you're not getting on Win the Morning, you're missing out on some good stuff. But if you've already seen it, then this is just a refresher. So Sarah, did you want to say anything?
No. Says Mita, you have to, there's the link when you go, well, Ethan, let me let you hit on that with the $50, the revenue share. How do they get that money back? Says Mita was asking.
Yeah. So basically what will happen is in getting the deals in and getting the insurance team working is the most important. Then after the policy is bound, we get paid, and it takes a few weeks for that policy to happen. We have to fill out a data collection form with everybody. So there is a data collection form that will be sent to everybody. That makes it completely RESPA compliant. And but basically, all you have to do right now is scan this QR code or go to Straight Line Clients and then just enter in whatever property, and the process will start. If you don't have any of those forms filled out or anything else, I will reach out to you and I'll make sure that we get it done. Does that make sense, Sarah? Or is there something else I should hit on?
Thank you for clarifying that. I just think it's important. Tennessee, once we're essentially submitting an offer, anybody know how many days you have before collecting the insurance binder?
Yeah, so
14.
14.
Go ahead.
It's pre-written, Ethan, in our forms that you have to have it within 14 days of a binding agreement. And so this is a great time for us to do that during the consult, but also re-engaging our database from a wealth building conversation. Have you checked your assets? Are they protected? And, have you even looked to see what your increase has been over the past few years? If not, price check here. So anyway, Ethan, I really appreciate you getting on the call. You've been very responsive and grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you all. And if there's any questions, please reach out, everybody. Thank you guys. By the way, you're killing it. So I'm so happy to be part of it. So thank you guys for letting me interrupt your meeting for just a little bit.
Thanks, Ethan. All right, guys. So last but not least, we have Danaeus. He is from the MLS and MAR. So they are doing a great job they have added him to really help us on the tech side. And then Danaeus, I'll let you introduce yourself and kind of go through what you're going to go through today. But there's a little more of a user-friendly option that I think none of us are really using in that way. So he's going to talk to us through that. And then obviously open up for questions for a little. We have about 15 minutes left. So go for it, Danaeus.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah.
So I do apologize, you all. We are also working from home. So if it's okay with you all, I'll likely just keep my camera off, but I will share my screen to kind of give you all an idea of some functions into Paragon Connect specifically. Paragon Pro is the platform that most of you likely use. It's not ideally comfortable for the eye, but I'm recently hired back in September, new to MAR. Not my first MLS. I formerly was at Imagine MLS in Lexington, Kentucky. I've been here for about 4 months. I work in data compliance and advancing our MLS.
Awesome.
Um,
He's a new kind of resource for us. And he has offered his services to come teach us and bring some things to our office that maybe we didn't have the opportunity to do before he was a part of the MLS. So thank you.
no problem. Just to confirm, does everyone see my screen currently?
Yes.
Okay. So one immediate thing I want to point out, it's a new product. Its effective date is literally today. So if you're not aware, do not be alarmed. But Broker Bay is updating their rebranding to Super One. It's just a rebrand. It serves all the same functions, but within this pop-up on Paragon, when those messages come up, if you want to learn more information, just simply click here. And I'll also highlight as you log in, our message center is manually updated and managed by staff. So any updates or notices that needs to go out to membership, that's our quickest way to form a communication for you all. So we try to push out those messages as soon as we get them and as effectively to you all. So if there's something that you're concerned on, look at your messages, it's likely there. So what I wanted to kind of highlight for you all is our Connect platform. And this is from my end as I'm not a active agent, but if someone wants me to go into their account, I can kind of show a lot more functionality. And if that's okay, I can do that as well.
I can
But in
give
Connect,
on
yeah,
it.
let me get over. And if you're an admin, what I'm doing right now is likely a function that you're used to.
Yeah, it's Linda Crawford. Yeah. Actually, I don't have any active listings. So that might be whatever.
Okay, I
Um,
can still likely manage the Connect platform. So if you all are not familiar, this is what Connect looks like. It accesses everything as Pro normally would. You have your inventory, you have your hot sheets, your quick links and actions, and at the bottom is one function that most should utilize or look at is all of the resources. So we have quick sign-on links to Transaction Desk, RPR, Cubicasa. This will be updating to Super One, and our MAR data, and other CMA products. Here, you can also manage and update your listings. One thing that a lot of people will utilize it for is reverse prospecting. And that's one quick function that is manageable and able to be done through Connect a lot simpler than most. So what you'll just go to your listings, go to published, or we'll go to what's closed. I'll do just the unpublished for the purpose of the example. But once you select more, on this end, once it's active, you'll see an option that says reverse prospecting. And that's how you're able to gravitate all potential hits or clients that may be looking at a property that you have active on your listings. And also, you have your easy CMAs. There isn't one that's actively run for Linda, but if we're going into one of these listings, well, let's just do a new one. And I'll do address you already have, 48040. Spring Tree. Within just the simple search, you're able to pull up the comparables, and it based it on about a mile and a half radius of the home based on zip code. As far as a platform, personally speaking, I prefer Connect as it's a lot more user friendly. It's a lot smoother. You can still run your statistics. You can see the agent roster, find all of your resources, insert and add all of your listings, and it's very much so more clean. Into any functionality on Paragon, I don't mind going into it, just kind of ask a question and I can show you how to get it done.
Yeah, so what you guys mentioned, Danaeus, which I think just to connect it for you guys, and the thought is they're talking about how pretty much Connect does everything that Paragon does, but we all know that like if you don't know how to use Paragon, then it's not very like you can't just figure it out, right? You have to learn it from somewhere. And Connect is a lot more user friendly. So can you just do a search? So let's say like a 42 and 38002. So where did you go for that? Hold on, I missed it.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That was my fault.
Nope. So what I'll do is go here and let's just search properties. Ideally, the class would be residential.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears the exact same as what you would see, but the functions are a lot more cleaner. So if we're looking within a price range, you have your minimum maximum. Wouldn't do a estate. Bedrooms. Ideally, and I'm not sure if this has been disclosed to anyone, but whenever you're doing a search for a client, I would highly suggest that you only include the full bathrooms, do not include halves. So if looking for 3.5 bathrooms, you would want to look for 4 total. And if you do include halves, they will only filter out 2 halves. As a new agent and in the MLS orientation, I make a very good emphasis of that. So in my example, I won't do halves, but it should include halves. Now I see someone has their hand raised. Tia.
Hey, Danaeus.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to MAR.
Thank you.
Served on MLS committee last year, and we were taught it was brought up that we would be moving exclusively to Connect. So is this something that we need to be trained? One, do you have a time frame on when have they discussed that with MAR and Paragon? And
hmm
two, would you recommend us going ahead and moving away from Paragon 5 and more into Paragon Connect? Last year, I think somebody brought up that it may be 5 or so years, but do you have a ETA on that? And should we be kind of getting ourselves acclimated more to Connect than Paragon 5?
So within that, it is still a very more so far out thought process than it is a current change. It is a 5 to 10 year aspect to where Paragon will phase out Connect. I mean, I'm sorry,
Okay.
Pro. But within any updates, so you're familiar with the floor plans being revealed in Paragon, you can add those in Paragon Pro, but they're not viewable unless you're in Connect. So as updates are happening, they're only happening on one side and not the other. So that's where it's encouraged to start familiarizing yourself with Connect, but at this time, it's more so user preference.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And also, I see another hand, Yvonne.
Like Tia said, welcome to MAR, and it's great to see you rolling out this process. What I want to share with everyone on the call is that if they're using their cell phone and they click on their MLS, if they look to the left-hand section of the screen, there's an option that says resources, and the itemized list that he clicked on at the top left-hand corner appears on your cell phone, or even if you're using it from your laptop. But not only can you do these quick and simple searches, if you set your clients up as a contact in your database on the MLS, it's also as user-friendly as just clicking on a property once you do your search, and also sending them the link to the property, and then also setting them up so that they can receive those links automatically. So what he's sharing with everyone is way more user-friendly than the other options that we've had in the past. So again, thank you for rolling this out.
No problem. And thank you for mentioning that as well. When I first came in, I did find out that membership more so thought this was just a mobile application. I wanted to highly emphasize that this is a fully functioning dashboard. So this is also if you are doing work more so remotely than sitting at your desktop, this is also a mobile app. So Paragon Connect is the mobile application for Paragon so that you can serve all of your functions from your tablet or your smartphone. It acts just like the dashboard.
And it will look exactly like you just opened up the MLS, but it'll take you back to Paragon Connect after you log in.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. There's a couple more comments in the chat.
Let me get back to the chat.
So Justin was asking, do we need to download the Super One app for showings, or is Broker Bay gonna?
It'll just be an update. So if you already have Broker Bay downloaded, Super One, it'll be more so like a mobile update, and it'll refresh. And once it does refresh, you'll see it says Super One, or it has the Super One logo. So there's nothing that you should have to do as the agent. It'll just appear different.
Okay, cool. And then, so anyways, I know we were going through this, but I think this side is more user friendly. So especially newer agents who haven't even learned Paragon yet, maybe if anyone ever asks you, like, guide them to connect. I know Danaeus is teaching people at orientation also that this is more user friendly. Jan, you said the price calculator. Are you talking about where you can change it to see the listing, like how many people are set up on searches? Or are we talking about something different?
No, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, cool. I don't know. I don't have any listings live today, so I'm no help.
If anyone does, I can kind of show you through there.
Does anybody have a listing if they mind him taking over admin side of yours?
I have one if he wants to use me.
Okay.
Okay. And for admins, I just assumed identity as well and connect. Like, I love the product myself. As far as the interface, I didn't have Paragon in my last association. So within having Connect, it looks a million times better in my opinion. So as a new agent, this is likely more easy on the eyes and also functionable for you. So this is me running a reverse prospecting, and you're also trying to see on the market status or checking like listing.
So if you click in the listing, Danaeus, like click open. I don't know, actually. I know how to do it on Paragon side. Do you know how to do it from Connect, Jan? Oh, there. Price, I think price analysis, maybe. Yes. So here you can adjust, like, let's say you're talking about, or you're thinking about doing a price reduction for your client. You can test out the new price here, and it'll tell you how many potential buyers, how many more potential buyers it gives you. So right there where it says new price, Danaeus, if you typed in, let's just say 230 and see if that changes how many people you have an option for. So it went from 128 to 130. So that didn't make too big of a difference. But you can, sometimes that'll be a drastic change. So even if do 220, I'm just making something up. It'll just show you, like, okay, if we're at that, what would that do? Right. So that brought you 142. So that upped it by, 20, or maybe not 20, but like 15 people extra that would see it. So that's a good, especially in like a higher price point where you have more room for a price drop. That will open up to more buyers. So that is something functional that is newer here that I want you guys to know. So
it's my understanding that those are buyers that are set up on searches from other agents, and
yes,
and it's been helpful to me to get a price drop.
Yeah.
If this is based on clients that are currently set up into the client collab center and they have searches created, so within that criteria, these potential buyers are actual contacts. These are living, breathing people that are in the market looking for properties.
Awesome. Thank you, Janice. Is there anything else you want us to know before you pop off?
in specifics, not necessarily. If there's anything that you all have questions on, and one thing I can give you all that we'll be rolling out very, very, very soon. We at MAR, we've made an agreement. The notice should be going out hopefully sometime this evening that you all are now enrolled in a new member benefit, Forewarn. So you should be looking out for those emails here very, very soon. And there's another project that will be released likely by the end of this week, and it is called Realtor.com Plus. So with both of those announcements, those have gone public for me to speak about it today, but look out for those emails soon on more information.
So the one for Forewarn actually went out on, I think, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, did the email go out?
No, not well. The email in the MAR newsletter that we usually get periodically every other day or so, it did go out in that message.
Okay, the activation emails for you to get those accounts set up should be coming out today.
Okay, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah,
I have a
that's
question.
us. Yes, Asmita, go ahead.
So I saw that email we are getting for one as our MLS membership benefit. Before that, I took one personal individualized subscription directly from for one, and now I am trying to contact them to cancel my individual subscription because I am getting, but they are not responding. Can MLS help me anyway?
Absolutely. So what we'll do is get your existing membership that you have with Forewarn kind of transferred over to the MAR account. So that fee that you're paying monthly, you will no longer need to occur. They'll cancel that existing subscription and they'll include you under the MAR account. So once we send out all those activation emails, we'll get a bounce back that your email already exists. And at that time, just send us an email letting us know that you have an existing account, and we'll get that process started on our end.
So to which email I need to send an email requesting I have
You can
MLS?
send that to mlssupport@mar.org.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And also our member services, they'll also be handling it. It's going to be a front end, everyone's hands on deck prepared for this.
Yeah, because after getting this information email from MLS, I tried to reach 41. I did not get any response from that till now. So I was kind of worried. Thank you.
Yeah, you're fine. We just had a meeting with them actually this morning, just over those integration things, and that was a question that came up. So we are prepared for it. Does anyone else have any questions for me by chance? All right. Well, thank you.
Apologies, guys. Yeah, my internet went off on my iPad. So I was supposed to share the slides, but I don't have it on my phone, and my internet on my iPad just disconnected. So bear with me. But really the last thing we want to talk about, thank you so much, Janae, if you'll put your contact or like who we need to contact in the chat. And then of course, maybe your email if anybody has questions, MLS support wise, or who they should reach out to for questions. But I think that's a lot more user friendly because I pay for that anymore. So that's a huge benefit for being a part of the MLS. So we appreciate you guys bringing that to us. So last thing I want to touch on is that Bold is coming. So if you don't know, and so they have totally rewritten Bold. Gary Keller threw it away. And I will say our coach, he said it before in our last meeting, was really talking about like, hey, we've said we've rewritten it before and it's just little tweaks, but this is totally rewritten to include social media and AI into every single step of Bold. So how are we going to get creative and do new things to get new results? And I will say that a lot of our top producers took Bold with this coach and said, like, I'm doing it again, just because he's the one doing it. So we are running a kind of, not, I won't say a competition, but we're going to do like a giveaway. Anybody who signs up for full Bold by Friday, we are going to enter those people into a drawing to get reimbursed. So if you're planning on doing it and you're just doing what most of us agents do, which is just like waiting till the last minute just because, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that later. So if that's you and you're going to sign up, go ahead and do it so you can be one of the people included in that giveaway. Because we're going to do a drawing on Friday to see who gets their Bold money back.
So, Linda, can you speak a little bit about what Bold is and what the fees are? Because this is new to me.
Yes. Okay. And I'm sorry, I sent out that text the other day and like 400 people to everybody, and I got a lot of responses. So I think I didn't respond to you, and I'm so sorry. But anyways, the fee is $7.99. Bold is a 6-week course. We fly in an instructor. This guy has been teaching Bold for about 20 years. It's a lot of mindset and action items, doing it together, really just building momentum. But it's going to be doing things in the room to get business. So by the end of it, the statistic is if you really do it and really commit to doing the full Bold, that you will do 9 to 11 transactions during Bold. So it really just gets you into the activities, gets you in motion, gives you that momentum and the motivation. So, and doing it together, I think builds community. I know Justin was my table leader at Bold when I did it last. I don't know if he's on here still or if he hopped off, but yes, I will say like I hung out with Justin for 6 weeks, and like by the end of it, now, it just kind of builds a tight knit community with the people who you're going through it with. So it definitely builds community, builds momentum, and really gives you the activities. So if you're brand new, or if you're new to Keller Williams, you're going to learn all the systems and all the things that you really need to know to build your business. And people take it Justin, how many times have you taken it? I don't know. At least
I don't know, several, more than I can count.
I think he does it every time it comes.
Is this for residential, or is
and
there a distinction between the two?
So the activities are going to be, I wouldn't say there's a distinction between the two. It's really the activities you need to get into business, right? So like the momentum to like lead generate. So you may want to tweak it to, and I mean, the coach, you may ask him like, hey, how can I tweak this into a commercial side? But it's really activities of talking to your people, and he's including social media into every piece. So that may be a time in the room for you to like start building out some content and things that you're going to, how are you going to get people to DM you? How are you going to get those business owners, right? How are you going to get in front of those people? So maybe some stuff like that, and building out AI for systems too. So I definitely think it's applicable to any type of business that you're doing. So anyways, I encourage you guys to do that. If you are coming, then go ahead and do it so we can put you in a drawing for Friday to get reimbursed. Please let me know if you need anything at all. I'm always here for you guys. Stay safe, stay warm, and you have my phone number. So if you guys need anything, the team and I are still working from home. So we are here if you need us. But I love seeing all your faces. We'll see you guys next week, okay? Bye.